Yeah, this is just a quickie snapshot of the news that's happening right now. Apparently, Facebook, Apple, and a number of other private corporations who host social media have decided to start going after right-wing talk, specifically in this case, Alex Jones. I think within the last couple of months, they also went after the NRA because I know YouTube was removing gun videos and such that they deemed as offensive and whatnot. And the thing about it is you have these idiots like Diamond and Silk talking all this shit about how they feel that there's a bias against conservatives and such and such. Well, let's say that there is a bias against conservative. I think some of you morons who believe in the double standard and the hypocrisy, I think you must have forgotten that the First Amendment only guarantees you the right of free speech from the Congress. It says Congress shall make no law. It doesn't say anything about Facebook shall make no law. It says nothing about YouTube shall make no law. It says nothing about iTunes shall make no law. No, those are private corporations, and under the 14th Amendment, they have every right to say that we don't want your bullshit on our servers. So guess what, Alex Jones? If you want to talk that bullshit about Sandy Hook not happening, and you want to make jokes about Obama and say that he's sleeping with men and this, that, and other, and you want to talk about Michelle being a man and all that shit, well, guess what, you fucking moron? What you're going to do is you can take whatever cash that you were able to suck out of these right-wing idiots listening to you, and you can buy your own server. In fact, I think it'll be worse than that, because not only will you have to buy your own server, but you can buy your own fucking ISP as well. Because I think Stormfront lost their server access because the ISP says we're not tolerating your shit anymore, and we're also not going to worry about facing backlash and boycotts from the people who pay into us who don't want your garbage being spewed. So if you want to do Holocaust denial, and you want to try to deny slavery happened, and you want to talk about Sandy Hook not happening, and you want to make jokes about the Obamas, and you want to talk about the government doing this and poisoning the fucking frogs and making them gay with chemtrails, well, guess what, moron? Get your own fucking servers, number one. And then number two, get your own ISP. And I'll tell you this, because of private contracts law under the 14th Amendment, I actually appreciate the fact that Facebook, Apple, and iTunes are doing this. Listen, if you want to talk shit, do this, get your own server, get your own ISP. To tell you the God's honest truth, I really would like to see more competition, because I honestly don't really like Facebook as a communication medium. I only use it because so many of my friends and family are on it. The problem is there's nothing else coherent to use as a communications medium besides direct text messaging on the phone. And the problem that I have with that is that on the phone, you cannot send certain size messages such as video and pictures. Facebook allows us to archive and send all that stuff, but it's also important to remember that Facebook and YouTube are both data mining operations. And it's important to remember that the FBI, NSA, and CIA are all watching this stuff. So basically, they know everything about you from the moment that you leave for a vacation to the moment you get back from a vacation. And if you're posting photos like I did in South Korea or wherever I was, they're watching that stuff when they feel like watching it, because they're looking for intelligence. When you take a trip to one of these other countries, that's what they're doing. They're looking at all your information, and they're considering that stuff intelligence. But once again, the bottom line is iTunes is under no obligation to carry your fucking garbage. And I've listened to Alex Jones before. Sometimes I found him a little bit entertaining. Sometimes I found him to just be a straight psychotic idiot. Sometimes he's funny, sometimes he's not. And the thing about it is, if you're going to pass this shit off as news, you're not going to do it on Facebook, Apple, or iTunes server. You're not going to do it there. So my only recommendation to you, get your own servers. Same thing goes for the NSA. Now, the NRA. Everybody knows that I post gun videos every now and then when I go to the range. Everybody knows I take like my AR, I take my Kimber, or I take my shotgun or whatever. You know I post videos like that. YouTube has no obligation to carry my videos. If YouTube says we're going to delete all the gun videos, then that's just YouTube's obligation. And they have every right to do that because they're a private corporation. Then what I would recommend is that the NRA starts its own YouTube type. You can call it GunTube. Start your own. This way we'll have competition, and YouTube will realize, well, all of the people who are interested in guns are going over to GunTube, and there's nothing we can do about that because the NRA started their own server site, and that they're taking in videos and they're also advertising guns and this, that, and other. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to use a private corporation against their will, because technically that's slavery. You cannot force a private corporation to provide services for you against their will. The same thing goes for that situation where there was like that gay couple who wanted a cake baked, and the people said they're not going to do it. Now, we don't know the full situation. We don't know the full story, but the bottom line is they can't force anybody to make them a cake. That's the bottom line. You cannot force me to provide services for you. If I say that I have something that I want to sell and I don't want to sell it to you for whatever reason, you could be a different color, you could be a different religion, you could be a different gender, whatever. If I decide that I don't want to give it to you, the bottom line is I have every right to do that under private contract law. Now, ultimately, it's stupid for me to do that because I'm taking a loss as far as the money goes, but that's up to me. It's just like dating. If I decide I don't want to date you, I don't have to date you if I don't like you. Like if you're a guy, it's like we're not going out. That's the bottom line. If you're certain types of women, we're not going out. I have every right of discrimination because I myself am basically a private corporation under contract law. So the thing about it is you can't force me to do a goddamn thing. So once again, Alex Jones, you can't force iTunes to carry your shit. And fucking Diamond and Silk, you stupid moron thoughts. You morons. You're both morons. The Congress is the one who cannot make, censorship against the people, not private corporations. So if I was Facebook, what I would do is I would delete your entire fucking channels. And any of your followers who didn't like it, well, guess what, fuckers? You're free to delete your profile and you're free to leave. I make the decisions as the corporation, not fucking Diamond and Silk, not Alex Jones, not Fox News, not the NRA. If you don't like it, you get your own fucking servers and you post your bullshit on your own servers. If you think there's a bias against you, you're probably right. But guess what? I control the bias if I'm the private corporation. Bottom line, Congress shall make no law.